My role at the DVIRC is I'm what's called a business solution advisor, which means that I work with the leaders and leadership teams of small to medium-sized manufacturers. Prior to joining the DVIRC, I was a general manager with full profit and loss responsibilities for manufacturing organizations ranging from $5 million to $60 million. The strategic services that DVIRC offers include strategic planning. So I work with leadership teams to develop long-range plans and long-range initiatives that will make a major difference to their organization. Another strategic service that we provide is succession planning. The key to succession planning is when a company's thinking about transitioning in 2 to 5 years, I work with that client to help them raise the value of their leadership team so that it raises the value of the company in some significant way. The final strategic service that I provide is executive coaching. This is a one-on-one service to leaders, and the service depends a lot on what their needs are, but I try to provide them a structured way to grow their business and increase the profitability. Typically, what I'm going to do with a client is to help them envision a future state, to say this is the way the company could or should be. And then I'll also help them evaluate where they're at today, and naturally coming out of those two things there's a gap. So we will pick a few of the very biggest things that they can work on to start to close those gaps and increase the value of the company significantly. Our succession planning service works on a little different basis. What I do is understand the owner's objectives, what they're trying to achieve, and through a very structured process I help them evaluate the staff that they have in terms of who knows what, who does what, how good that staff is, particularly relevant to the skills of the owner, because we're trying to reduce the dependency on the owner. So we'll come out with a game plan on that in terms of how the staff can work better and increase their responsibilities. Sometimes the recommendation may need to be to hire somebody. But in any case, what we're looking to do is help them raise the value of the company through improvement of the staff that's working underneath them. Executive coaching is a one-on-one service, and once again, that one may be more pointed in terms of exactly what the client's looking for and how I can help them. Very typically, it's right size for companies that are smaller companies, say $3 to $5 million. What you'll find in these companies is so often that these owners are about 80% of the value, meaning that they know the clients, they know the customers, they know the people, they have the people's loyalty, and frankly, because they're so central, they're overwhelmed and can't grow the business. So I'll work with them to reduce the dependency of the company on the owners so that they can free up their time to do other things.
My recommendation for the service would be, speaking from personal experience, that I guess the best way to say it again is the service for me has been a glue. Having ideas, trying to keep the ideas together, keeping the processes rolling. You can't always do it by yourself because you get busy. There are other priorities sometimes that crop up. And again, for me, it's been a glue, and that's been instrumental in our success.
I think there's two advantages that I bring to the table. One is my background, but secondly, I think, is the skills and abilities of the DVIRC. My background when I'm dealing with a leader or leadership team is that I've actually sat in their shoes. I've been a profit and loss manager. I've been responsible for trying to make sure an organization moves forward in all respects. So I certainly can relate to where they're at because in many instances I've been there. The second thing that's a really major advantage is that I work in partnership with my colleagues at the DVIRC, and that enables us to bring a full range of services to the client. So if you're doing a strategic plan and you need to grow your business, I have certain skills in marketing, but frankly I can call upon other of my colleagues who have even more skills and greater depth to bring first-class services to those companies in terms of how they grow their business. On the succession planning side, DVIRC has developed a fantastic process that helps us in a very systematic way evaluate a staff, and frankly we've tried it enough or done it enough that we're so confident of it that we've had others who also look at our evaluations and reach exactly the same conclusions in the same order about the same people. One of the things that DVIRC does is really adhere to a plan, do, check, act methodology. So when we do that, we first of all help the customer establish a plan. We monitor their implementation. We're extremely big on the implementation because we're rated on the difference that our efforts make to the client and to their company. But the key thing here is that what I'm really getting at is that check part of the plan, do, check, act methodology. So frankly, in most instances when I go to a client, I'm asking them, okay, we have this plan, we've done this, so what difference has it made?
The executive coaching service has helped implement ideas as well as develop ideas, and the follow-up, creating a little bit of accountability that Harold's coming, have we done everything we said we're going to do, and then just the introduction of new thoughts. You may feel or think you and your people know what to do, but with another pair of eyes, another person thinking about the problems, just small things can make a tremendous difference.
Return on investment is a very critical metric for DVIRC. It's critical to DVIRC because our clients, after a project is closed, are asked to evaluate what DVIRC did for them qualitatively but also quantitatively. Return on investment for my services tends to be very high. Easily hundreds of thousands of dollars typical return on investment. In some cases, many millions of return on investments. Certainly could be things like revenue, profitability. Probably profitability is the place where I typically work the most. Also, we ask them as a soft metric, are you willing to recommend this to others? And it's very usual and very in almost all projects, if not all projects, that people will say, yes, I'm more than happy to recommend you to other folks. I frankly consider that soft metric to be almost as valuable as the hard metric, because if they're willing to recommend you to their other friends and other colleagues, that says something very strong about what I and DVIRC provide.